Hey y'all, today's topic is going to be the review of this Cache L3S EDC shoulder bag by Tactical Geek. I wanted a versatile, durable, and customizable bag to hold all of my EDC gear. I wanted it to be durable enough so I could take it anywhere and not fear that it was going to break on me. I wanted it customizable enough so I could add my own little flair to it, and I wanted it versatile enough that I could wear it in various different scenarios like camping, hiking, daily walks, basically everywhere I would go. Initially, I bought a fanny pack from the thrift store, and while it worked and held my things, there was no organization. The straps were already starting to fray and break, and the color scheme made it so it didn't really fit into all the different scenarios that I was thinking of. I also tried the Vertx SOCP fanny pack, and while I love the look, the functionality, all the little extra features of it, it just was a bit too big for my body type. And that's how I landed on this Cache L3S shoulder bag by Tactical Geek. Now, they call it the shoulder bag. I primarily use it as a fanny pack or a hip bag, whatever your flavor is. The bag that I currently have is the L3S version of the Cache. There is an L3C version, and the difference between those two are about 2 inches in the width. The stated capacity of the L3S bag is 1.8 liters, and the L3C version is 2.4 liters. The bag measures out to be about 21.5 centimeters by 15 centimeters by 6 centimeters, or about 8.46 inches by 5.9 inches by 2.36 inches. This variant comes in black, green, or a purple and pink if you choose the X-Pack version. The price ranges from $49.99 all the way up to $121.99, and it ranges depending on the size, the material, and the color that you choose, along with which distributor you buy it from, whether it's Amazon, with it being a little bit pricier, versus directly on the site where it seems to be a little bit cheaper. So here is the Cache L3S bag, the way I've kind of configured it for my uses. So first off, overall, if you could see from the pictures, there were 2 straps here that had some webbing underneath that you could attach things. I went ahead and covered it up with some hook or loop tape on the back with some glue so I could have more real estate for my patches. And then going around all the areas, we have some shock cord that you could hold maybe like a tripod or a shirt, something of that nature. And then around on the back, we have additional MOLLE webbing. So you could theoretically take one of these clasps and hook it onto these and hook it onto a backpack if that backpack also has some MOLLE webbing. And then you also have a hip pad that isn't crazy padded, but it does have additional MOLLE webbing, so I do like to hang a few things like my knife. I could hang my carpenter's pencil, my tape measure. It's a nice little addition to the versatility of this bag. Then over here we do have a quick release buckle. I don't use this as my primary way of getting this on, just because I've looped all this excess strap to the back all the way through, so it does kind of prevent someone from running from behind you and grabbing the bag and unbuckling it. So that does give it a little bit more security in that scenario, and then you can also just cover it up with the hip pad. And then over here we have that double style latch. You know, you can go from both sides. And then you also have a single stack over here, and that's where you can get a upright position when you wear this on your shoulder. The only issues I ran into this was that it can be very hard. Like here, it got stuck, but it can go back in. And, oh, so a little bit of a wiggle. It's a little bit of a tight one. So that's why I do like these doubles latches a little bit better. And then over here we have the most inner pocket held by a hook and loop. It fits a iPhone Pro Max just barely, and then anything lower, you're good to go. And then on the front, we also have a singular pocket, no organization. It's the same 500D Cordura material on the inside. And then for the main pocket, you do have a hook or a loop backing on here, and I do have my portable battery charger hooked to the top to kind of keep it more secure and kind of distribute the weight a little bit better. And then you also have 3 little organizer pockets within the main pockets, 2 of which are usable. The third one, it would be kind of hard to find something to fit in here that isn't just trinkets. So that's kind of an overview of this bag, and the biggest reasons I picked this bag was because of the size. I originally tried the SOCP bag, and that sucker was at least another like 4 inches, maybe 3, and it just looked way too big on my frame. So I went with this one, and I did take inspiration from my bag that I got at the thrift store, and here you can see it is kind of fraying. You know, it was used. This one had 1 main pocket and 1 zippered back pocket, and that was it, but no organization, so all the things in here would just be jingling around, and you'd have to kind of dig around to get anything from it. It also had a little bit too much stretch with the waistband. It fit me better, but because of the stretch, when you jump or anything like that, it kind of could get a little loose. It wasn't as secure feeling. And then here you can see the very simple buckle. You know, it wasn't too crazily protected, so that was also a concern. And the visual style, you know, nothing against it, looks fine, but doesn't have the subtlety of, you know, the green. Is this bag for you though? Well, a few considerations to have in mind. First, if you can fit the bigger size, I would recommend going the size up. You get more space, it is even cheaper, and if it's the same thing, just bigger, I think that's a win. Just personally on my frame, this is gonna be basically the max width I can use. Secondly, you know, what's your desire for getting a bag like this? Is it to carry more things? Do you find that you have too many things in your pocket? That's the problem I ran into, where I would always carry around my, you know, phone, wallet, keys, knife, light, and while that was nice, it sometimes would weigh down certain pairs of shorts I had, so that was annoying. So I wanted something a little bit more durable that could kind of maintain its own weight. And especially when I went camping, I found that I didn't like to carry all those things walking around the campsite. So having this was a nice way to kind of keep everything organized, have a little bit more handy things that, you know, I might need in the field, and have one place that, you know, if once I'm going into bed, I just have my bag, has everything in there, and I can just leave it, you know, by my head and not worry about, you know, dumping out my pockets at the end of the day. Finally, if you wanted a bag that was tactical in the sense that you wanted to carry around your CCW, this bag can work. The only issue I would say is because the main pocket is also the pocket with the organization, that's where you would most likely keep a lot of your gear. And if you're carrying a CCW, I'd err on the side of not having anything loose in here at the bare minimum, just so you can have a clean draw if the time arises. So you don't want to have other things, you know, getting in the way, you accidentally picking it up. So that's my only caveat. If you're gonna use this as a CCW fanny pack, shoulder, chest bag, be aware that you could potentially lose one of the main pockets and only have the front pocket and the back pocket. Overall, this bag, I really, really enjoy it. I'd highly recommend it if you're looking for a bag that isn't gonna break the bank, that is durable and, you know, looks good, can have your own style to it. It's functional, you can hold a lot of gear in it, and it doesn't look too bulky or too crazy. I like that if you pack it out nicely, it does have an easier time standing up, and overall the customizability of having, you know, so many webbings attachment points is really awesome to me. I like that, you know, every day I'm now carrying the knife on the outside instead of the inside. I'm finding new uses for this bag and how it can better fit into my daily use case scenario. Here's how I went from my EDC phone, keys, wallet, light and knife to all of this. Portable battery bank, pen, charger, some Germex, some eye drops, microfiber cloth, nasal inhalant, chapstick, nicotine, lighter, and it all fits. All of this into here. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, throw in a like, ask any questions in the comments about this bag or any other recommendations you would make in a bag that has my similar criterias, or whatever criterias you were looking for when you look for a bag. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I hope you'll have a great rest of your day. Thanks.